the besieged city, a glimpse into Rafah. Rafah, a city on the edge, caught between borders between hope and despair. It stands as a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict. Located in the southern Gaza Strip, Rafah is a place where life is lived under the constant threat of violence. The city bears the scars of years of conflict. Buildings lie in ruins. Homes are reduced to rubble. The streets, once bustling with life, are eerily quiet. The recent escalation of violence has only deepened the suffering of the people. The air is thick with smoke and the stench of fear. The nights are shattered by the sounds of explosions and gunfire. In the aftermath of the latest tragedy, the people of Rafah are left reeling. They are left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. Their resilience, however, shines through the darkness. Echoes of violence, the human cost of the conflict. The human cost of the conflict is immeasurable. It is etched on the faces of the people. It is heard in their voices. It is felt in their very bones. Families torn apart, homes destroyed, lives lost. These are not mere statistics. They are stark realities of a conflict that has raged for far too long. The stories of the victims are heart-wrenching. A mother mourns the loss of her child. A young boy, his eyes filled with terror, clutches the hand of his older brother. An elderly man sits amidst the ruins of his home, his life's work reduced to rubble. These stories are a stark reminder of the human cost of conflict. They are a call to action for the world to wake up and take notice. Living in the rubble, displacement, and despair. The recent violence has forced thousands of Palestinians to flee their homes. They have become refugees in their own land. They seek shelter in overcrowded UN schools. They sleep on cold floors. They live in fear and uncertainty. The displacement has had a devastating impact on their lives. Children are denied their right to education. Parents struggle to provide for their families. The elderly are left to fend for themselves. The psychological toll is immense. The trauma of displacement, the loss of loved ones, the constant fear of violence. These experiences leave deep scars. The international community must do more to address the plight of the displaced. They need more than just temporary shelter. They need a lasting solution. They need a home. The crumbling lifeline healthcare under siege. The healthcare system in Gaza is on the verge of collapse. Hospitals are overwhelmed. Medical supplies are running dangerously low. Medical personnel are working tirelessly, but they are stretched to their limits. The recent violence has only exacerbated the crisis. Hospitals have been damaged. Ambulances have been targeted. Patients and medical staff have been injured or killed. The lack of access to proper health care is having a devastating impact on the population. People are dying from preventable diseases. Chronic illnesses are going untreated. The situation is dire. The international community must act now to ensure that the people of Gaza have access to the health care they need. Children of war scars that won't fade. The children of Gaza are the innocent victims of a conflict they did not choose. They have witnessed horrors no child should ever see. They have lost their homes, their loved ones, their childhoods. The psychological toll of the conflict is immeasurable. Children are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression. They are plagued by nightmares and flashbacks. The conflict has also robbed them of their education. Schools have been damaged or destroyed. Children are forced to drop out of school to help their families survive. The future of an entire generation is at stake. The international community must invest in the education and well-being of the children of Gaza. They are the future. UNRWA, a beacon of hope in a sea of despair. Amidst the devastation and despair, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East stands as a beacon of hope for the people of Gaza. For over 70 years, UNRWA has been providing vital services to Palestinian refugees. They provide education, healthcare, social services, and emergency relief. They are a lifeline for millions of people. The recent violence has placed an enormous strain on UNRWA's resources. However, they have remained steadfast in their commitment to the people of Gaza. They are working tirelessly to provide aid and support to those in need. The international community must ensure that UNRWA has the necessary resources to continue its vital work. The world is watching. The eyes of the world are on Gaza. The plight of the Palestinian people cannot be ignored. The time for silence is over. The time for action is now. The international community must act decisively to end the violence. They must hold all parties accountable for their actions. They must work towards a just and lasting peace. The status quo is unacceptable. The cycle of violence must be broken. The people of Gaza deserve to live in peace, security, and dignity. Violence begets violence. It is a vicious cycle that must be broken. The only way to achieve lasting peace is through dialogue and diplomacy. All parties involved in the conflict must come to the negotiating table. They must engage in meaningful dialogue. They must be willing to compromise. The international community has a crucial role to play in facilitating dialogue. They must create a conducive environment for negotiations. They must provide the necessary support and guarantees. Peace is not a distant dream, it is an achievable goal, but it requires courage, commitment, and a shared vision for a better future. Even in the darkest of times, hope endures. The human spirit is resilient. The people of Gaza have not given up hope for a better future. Amidst the rubble and despair, there are glimmers of hope. There are those who are working tirelessly to rebuild their lives and communities. There are those who are committed to peace and reconciliation. These are the seeds of peace. These are the glimmers of hope that can lead the way to a brighter future. It is our responsibility to nurture these seeds. It is our duty to amplify the voices of peace. We must never let hope die. You can make a difference. You have the power to be the change you wish to see in the world. You can help break the cycle of violence and contribute to a just and lasting peace. Educate yourself about the conflict. Read, research, and stay informed. Share your knowledge with others. Support organizations working on the ground in Gaza. Donate to reputable charities providing humanitarian aid. Advocate for policies that promote peace and justice. Raise your voice. Contact your elected officials. Write letters to the editor. Participate in peaceful protests and demonstrations. Make your voice heard. Every action, no matter how small, can make a difference. Together, we can create a world where peace prevails.